AP Insurance, one of the leading insurers in Kenya, catering to both individuals and corporates across the country, has turned to IBM to ensure an improved customer experience. This includes quicker claims processing, more relevant premiums to ensure customer satisfaction and retention of its medical customers. AP Insurance manages large volumes of data on policies, policyholders, risk assessment, and claims histories. Collating this information and transforming it into information from which management could derive real insights proved difficult. IBM, with support of its business partner, Comstech, engaged with APA stakeholders in utilizing IBM's Cogno business intelligence software to help solve the challenges the insurance provider was facing. Well, to talk to us about the developments and other fields of technology, we're now joined by Nick Nesbitt, the General Manager for East Africa at IBM. Many thanks, Nick, for joining us. I don't know if you can hear me now.
I can hear you well. Thank you.
Well, glad to have you on the show this afternoon. And just talk to us about the trends we are seeing when it comes to companies embracing data and finding out how best they can utilize this data for, be it predictive forecasting, be it for ensuring that they achieve optimum use of this data.
Well, thank you. You know, it's a very exciting time in Kenya right now because many companies are embracing the fact that for them to make better decisions, they have to get a hold of their data. And this means you need to use multiple sources to capture the data. You need to be very good at ensuring that the data is clean, meaning you don't have multiple identities, multiple records for the same person. And you must make this data accessible to the people inside your business. This means that people will then be able to pull the data, generate reports, make decisions about what is happening in their market, in their customers' environment, or even internally within their organizations. You see, the challenge with all businesses is you're trying to de-risk your business. And one of the surest ways to do that is to have a better understanding as to what's happening in your business. And so by grasping and embracing what it takes to manage your data better and drive analysis out of it, people are looking to technology. And that's why we're very excited with our partnership with APA Insurance, because they've selected IBM to help them on that journey.
And talking about this new partnership, are you looking to lock in more partnerships with other companies down the road?
Yes, you know, it's not only the typical companies that you'd imagine. It's not just the banks who are looking to improve their data, or in this case, the insurance companies. But if you look at it, manufacturing and where that's going, it's very important that people manufacture products, and when they do it accurately, they do it the first time correctly. They ship it to the customers that want them. They have very little excess inventory, and they have very little waste. It's also the same if you're a car dealer, for example. You need to understand who your customers are, why they're coming in to see you, how can you improve the service that you deliver them. It's really across the board. What is really exciting beyond the traditional businesses is to see the emergence of a large number of, let's call them, digital businesses that are emerging in Kenya.
Sure.
We are seeing an incredible amount of innovation in almost every sector. That is all being driven by people's need to drive decisions and make decisions on the mobile phone. So it's a very exciting time in Kenya right now in terms of business.
And Nick, looking at the bigger picture, what does this mean for companies from a bottom line point of view when it comes to increasing profitability in the long run when you embrace such systems?
So just to be clear, embracing such systems does not necessarily make you profitable, but it's part of the ingredients that you need to become profitable. What makes you profitable is your overall go-to-market. Do you have the right customers? Do you have the right employees? Do you have the right operations? Do you have the right value proposition? When you have that, using the data is like having a compass that works. But to use the compass, you must make sure that you've got the right map and you've got the right tools and people and so on to take you in the right direction. But certainly, as I use the example of manufacturing, or if you use the example of somebody who's in the services business, if your customers are not enjoying their overall experience with you and they're not coming back, it's really important that you know that. And there are different ways to collect that data. It can be directly, where people write to you, they call you, they send a message, or it could be indirectly, where they are posting on social media about their experience with you.
Correct.
And the tools that we help as IBM customers use is, how do you take what, let's call it structured data and unstructured data, and bring it together so you can get a complete picture of who your customers are. And that helps you with segmenting who are the different kinds of customers you have, and how can you ensure that every one of your customers that you want to go after, your targeted customers, has the experience that you intend to give them, and they do it in a repeated fashion. And so that's what data and understanding how you manage, use, and analyze it, that's what it can do for you.
And I cannot fail to ask you this question, Nick. Data is very sensitive across all the jurisdictions in the world. How do you manage the issues to do with the privacy, issues to do with the responsibility and sanctity of this data when it comes to convincing companies to take up data analytics as an important tool in terms of improving processes?
You see, that's a very fundamental question, and it's a very good question because it's right at the heart of what we do as IBM. IBM raises its right hand and says, we firmly believe that the owners of the data are the people who generated the data, not us as a company, not us as IBM. We provide the tools, the infrastructure, the capabilities for people to do what they can with that data in the furtherance, let's say, of the pursuit of the company's interests and their customers' interests. So it's very important when you think about people's digital identity that the companies, the large ones or even the small ones, act responsibly, that they ensure that once somebody gives them information about themselves, that company guards it. They guard it jealously. And only when the customer selects purposefully that data can be shared with somebody else, only then, I think, and I firmly believe, can that company share it with anyone. It doesn't matter if you are a small duka on the shop, if you're a big retailer, you're an airline, you're a hotel, even if you're a phone company. That data should not be shared without the customer's permission.
All right.
And we as IBM are a company that never has a back door to our systems. We don't provide a back door. And we make sure that once we give our equipment, our software, our tools to our customers, our business customers, that it's locked and it's theirs and we have no way of getting in. So it's actually a question that's at the heart of many debates among regulators, consumer groups around the world, customers themselves.
All right.
How is this data managed? But I think fundamentally it's quite clear.
All right.
Look after the customer's data and treat it well.
That's a good place to end it. Many thanks, Nick Nesbitt, General Manager for IBM East Africa. Very solid insights on data use and the future of data analytics for companies. Well, we want to go for a quick commercial break, but just to remind you that we shall be having that interesting conversation around innovation. And on the other side of the studio, we'll be having Peter Akaba with a panel of very interesting guests that will be discussing the Nairobi Innovation Week. All that coming up after the break.
This is KTN News.